Author's Note: this video is my review of Sonic Prime Season 2, based on Sonic the Hedgehog by Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, directed by Eric Wise, Kieran Sangera, Joel Salazar, Andrew Duncan, Logan McPherson, and Ishii Riddell. Published by Sega Enterprise, Netflix, Wild Brain Studios, formerly known as Studio DHX, and Man of Action Entertainment. Starring the voices of Devin Mack, Ashley Ball, Vincent Tong, Shannon Chan Kent, Kazumi Evans, Adam Narada, Brian Drummond, and Ian Hanlon as Shadow the Hedgehog and Big the Cat. Rated TVY 7.
I just want to go home.
Home? Home doesn't exist anymore. Because of you!
With the final season of Sonic Prime now out on Netflix, let's take a look back at the previous season before we check that out later this year. Oh, and by the way, Shadow the Hedgehog will help me out in this review. Oh, believe me, I'm ready for this 100%. Set immediately after the events of Season 1, Sonic discovers the truth about what happened to Green Hill. Working alongside Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic must relocate the shards of the Paradox Prism and bring them back to restore his world. How exactly did my counterpart put up with that moron is beyond me.
Where have you been?
Everywhere. Nowhere. Somewhere in between. Ridiculously long story short.
It feels like the stakes were raised higher than ever. The action was far more tense than the first season, and things went from bad to worse with this season. I'll say, this is the kind of energy that's supposed to make a Sonic series great. Like this Sat AM you keep talking about. Though, I prefer the art style from that series. Also, it does feel like Sonic, despite his childish attitude, does begin to show some signs of maturity when it comes to his responsibilities. Ha! Sonic? Responsible? That moron still has a few screws loose with that egotistical attitude of his. Don't make me laugh, Diamondo. At least Sonic has had more new adventures compared to you. I heard that.
Every shatter space contains a shard. Creates a distorted version of our reality. That means this one
Has to be real.
So Shadow, how does it feel to finally get some more time in the limelight? Very satisfying. In fact, I'll admit, I like my Prime counterpart, a no-nonsense individual who's upset at Sonic for breaking reality, and he raised a fine point there. Not to mention that I hold nothing back during my fight with Sonic in Avoid the Void. Truth be told, I wish you appeared more in this season than just the parts you were involved in. That's actually a point you have there. It's a shame I couldn't enter the other Paradox worlds. Just imagine what those morons would be expecting if they laid eyes on me. After all, I am the ultimate life form. Oh boy.
But this one possesses a, shall we say, less dull mind than the usual riffraff.
Shadow, what are your thoughts on the Chaos Council? At first, I saw them as nothing more than underused villain wannabes in the first season alone. But here, I thought they were a nice threat to Sonic though, a bit higher on the level compared to Dr. Eggman. That was my big problem with the Chaos Council last season, but I'm also glad they put those 5 villains to good use at every inch of the way, even going as far as to give them an origin story. As far as villains go, they truly did steal the show this time, showcasing how determined they are into remaking the Shatterverse into their own dystopia. But that's not the only villain I'd like to talk about.
Wow, looking at you is like looking in a mirror. Only I'm all sad and pathetic.
Wait a minute, Shadow, I'm surprised that you enjoyed Chaos Sonic. I'm surprised as well. A metal knockoff of Sonic that even takes his own personality and throws it right back in his face. Yeah, normally I would be expecting that Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, but this one really gave that blue blur a run for his chili dogs, both for his attitude and his lightning fast speed. A nice twist on the classic. A shame that he was only used for one episode. I would have loved to take that jerk on in combat and send him to the scrapyard. A perfect way to test my skills as the ultimate life form. Just be glad a Chaos Shadow doesn't exist. Diamondo, don't push your luck.
Who is that?
So Shadow, out of all of the alternative take on Sonic's friends, which ones are your favorites? Well, don't tell Amy, but I like all three of her counterparts. Black Rose, Thorn Rose, and especially Rusty Rose, who I think would make Bunny Rabbit look outdated. Hey, don't say that! There are plenty of fans who enjoy Bunny Rabbit. Though I'll admit, of all the characters, I actually did like Nine the most. He felt like a loner compared to the rest of the Shadowverse. No friends, no family, and a horrible outlook on life. When you have a mindset like that, you don't trust anyone. Do you hope to see a better future for this character? I hope so. But we all know where his path is going down in the final season. And folks, please refrain from spoiling the final season.
Guys!
Sonic Prime Season 2 felt like a big step up from the first season. The action is far more tense, the villains steal the spotlight, and there are a lot of great characters, especially 9. I recommend checking this season out before you jump into the final season. Hey Shadow, you up for reviewing the final season later this year? Challenge accepted.